Here's our latest look at Epic Universe for the month of April. This new theme park is being created rapidly. There's always so many new and exciting things happening at Universal Epic Universe. At Super Nintendo World, some major theming elements have been spotted, including a major piece to a key challenge. Ride testing has begun at Hiccup's Wing Gliders, and a new project is underway in Celestial Park. We'll go over all that and more. Today we will start in Super Nintendo World, in the Donkey Kong area. In our last update, the barrel that riders will pass through was spotted on the ground. Then it was painted a light brown, and still on the ground. However, in the most recent photos, it's now been installed and placed on the lift hill on the Donkey Kong coaster. It also looks like it's received another coat of paint, making it a darker brown, and black rings have been painted around it as well, although the top ring of the barrel still needs some paint. More theming elements have been added to the wall where the mine train will pass through. A monkey can be seen on the right side of the wall, along with some flowers, plants, and vines. More theming has also been added to this part of the track. Here, the real track is hidden and riders will skim over the water. Rocks have been recently added and painted in this section. There are also some crates on the end of the rocks. Other theming elements have been added around the roller coaster. Here are a pair of screaming pillars on opposite sides of the track. Also, work has begun to theme this wall over by the entrance to the Donkey Kong Land. So far it's just gray with lines going across it. Another exciting new addition is on the second level near Princess Peach's castle. At the number 1, there's a cylinder that rolls around. This looks like the thing used for the key challenge called the Goomba Crazy Crank. The Goomba comes out and you have to turn the wheel as fast as you can until the Goomba falls back. It's waiting to be installed and themed. I believe this key challenge will be where all the scaffolding is behind it. It will be placed behind the rounded wall with the cobblestone. Also, if we look up, covered in plastic is a piranha plant. Another piranha plant can be seen also covered in plastic on the other side of the second level, near where the gazebo will be placed. Plus, a few trees have been added to Super Nintendo World. One is here near the piranha plant, and another is over on the opposite side near Bowser's Castle and Bowser Jr.'s Shadow Showdown. Also on the ground of the first level, forms were added in preparation for a concrete pour, and now in the most recent photo it has concrete. This is just the start of the concrete. It will be much taller. This is where Mario and Luigi meet and greet are in Japan's version. Also, the Thwomp has been installed over at the entrance to this area. Most likely it will be the entrance to the key challenge called Thwomp Panel Panic. The rooftops also have the lining added to it, just like at Mount Beanpole, but they haven't been painted yet. Also next to the Thwomp is the entrance to Bowser Jr.'s Shadow Showdown. Scaffolding is covering it as they work to theme the outside. Bricks can be seen through the scaffolding. Here's how the portal is looking so far. Still no portal ring on the outside, but if you look past the portal, you will see the entrance to Yoshi's Adventure Ride. The Yoshi Ride vehicles are once again covered in protective cloth. At the Yoshi Ride, a theming element has been added. It's a conch door, which is a bird enemy. The head can be seen, but the body is covered in plastic. Frames for a scene can be seen over here. This will be where one of the show scenes will be. Outside of Super Nintendo World is the Nintendo Shop. A fountain is being created outside of the shop. It's still in its early stages. Next to the shop is a restaurant called Pizza Moon. It's the building with the reddish roof. Glass was recently installed on the side of the Pizza Moon restaurant. Now over at Dark Universe, work has continued on the colorful round concrete found in front of the portal. Once we walk through the portal, we pass a broken wall. The left side of the broken wall no longer has scaffolding and looks like it's been finished. Rumor is that this village will be called Darkmoor. In the village, a new structure is being built. Perhaps there'll be a well when it's all finished. The forms around it are quite tall and look more like a well than a fountain. On the pathways in the village, workers are busy etching pavement stone lines into the concrete. The same thing can be seen over near the entrance to the manor, which is the main attraction. Next to the workers is another themed broken wall, the pathway that leads to the Curse of the Werewolf. In our last update, scaffolding was all over the buildings on both sides of the village, but now they've come down. The village has a dark Gothic theme. On this side is the restaurant. Looks like they are preparing to pour more concrete in this area. The other side of the village will be the retail location. The facades are looking really nice. The facades on both sides look done except for some spots on the roof. Things have been added to the queue of the spinning roller coaster, rumored to be called Curse the Werewolf. A small wagon has been added to the queue, as well as this larger structure just across from the wagon. The spinning roller coaster has been ride testing. Here we can see the train returning to the station. Blue ride dummies are in the ride vehicle. Over at the other restaurant believed to be named Burning Blade Tavern, more trees have been added around the restaurant, and scaffolding has come down around the front of the windmill. At the manor, where the main attraction is, they've been doing more landscaping in the extended queue area. Next to it is a recent addition. Trees have been added to this new berm. Some more scaffolding has been placed on the side of the manor as they continue to theme it. On the front of the manor, they've started painting the vines over here. Plus, on the pathway, theming has been added to the ground. The walkway is being created to look like stones in the concrete. We can see the edge lines in the gray section that have yet to be finished. Now, over at the How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, lots of things are happening. This world will have several attractions, including the show called Untrainable. The theater for the show is here. Off to the side of it, there's a grassy section that has what looks like a possible airfield for flying dragons. In the most recent video announcing the Isle of Berk, they hinted at the possibility of seeing dragons fly overhead. So if that actually comes to fruition, this could be where they lift off from. Also around the entrance to the show, some farms have been built up for a concrete pour. Plus, outside the theater attraction is the Haddock Paddock. This is where guests will meet Hiccup and Toothless. Universal posted videos on their Instagram stories of the creative team for the How to Train Your Dragon area. They talked about what they are most excited for, and one of the team members said that there will be lots of different dragon sounds around the world. We will hear dragons snore, sneeze, and drool. Speaking of dragons, several dragon houses have been placed in the grandstand. This will be the backdrop for Dragon Racers Rally. This is a ride where guests can spin themselves around and fly like a dragon. The Associate Controls Engineer, Ian Septum, said that he has a record of 26 spins on this ride. Wow. How many spins do you think you will do? Over here they are building a log structure. This will have the sign and the entrance to the ride. The roller coaster called Hiccup Swing Gliders will travel through the grandstand on its way back to the load station. Recently they've been doing ride testing. This video comes from Amusement Insider. You can see it here going through the grandstand and finishing up its run. Over here, more landscaping has been added. We can also see a themed stone wall on the side of the first launch for the roller coaster. Over at the entrance, paint has been added to the rockwork, what looks like brown and black to give it more dimension. We can see on the boardwalk they've added railing and a pathway in the center. This is for the construction workers so they don't damage the nice new boardwalk. Over here near the central restaurant, Mead Hall, this is the Village Plaza. There will be some shops like How to Treat Your Dragon and a retail shop off to the side of Mead Hall. Recently they've added these wooden structures over by the How to Treat Your Dragon shop. At the center of the village will be a fountain. Right now there's a bunch of materials where it will be. Color is being added to the outside of Mead Hall. Moss has been added all over the rockwork. We can also see the top of the two Vikings that stand at the entrance to Mead Hall. Scaffolding surrounds them, so we can't see too much. Most recently, scaffolding has been removed from the topmost part of the mountain. Now we can see the greenery that has also been added to the rockwork. Plus, at the very top is what might be Gothy's hut. It was white the last time we saw it, but now it's been painted and it looks really nice. One of the other attractions in this world is Fire Drill. The entrance will also be in the Village Plaza. This will be a fun but wet ride for the whole family to enjoy. There is no height requirement for it, however they do state that handheld infants are not permitted. The Viking twins Roughnut and Toughnut have transformed Berk's Fire School into an interactive boat ride. Water cannons will be on the ride for guests to practice putting out fires. These will be flame-like targets that guests will shoot, plus you can aim at guests on the other boats. The extended queue is continuing to be worked on. The bridge by the extended queue has some theming elements on it. It looks like there are materials for another frame to be placed on the other side of the bridge. One frame has already been installed on the one side. Another attraction entrance will be in the plaza, Hiccup's Wing Gliders. We can see the start of an entrance with wood beams. The flyover of the land briefly shows the entrance to Hiccup's Wing Gliders when it's all finished. Over at one of the other restaurants called Spitfire Grill, lots of theming has been added to the roof. There are artificial trees as well as a painted backdrop of more trees. Plus, over here on the other side of the roof, there is a bunch of scaffolding surrounding this structure. This colorful structure has recently had planks added around the perimeter. Looks like something more will be added to the top of the structure as well. Across from Spitfire Grill will be some outdoor seating overlooking the boat rides. Seen here are two metal frames standing. They briefly showed some concept art of this seating area in Universal's last video announcement. Another attraction in the Isle of Berk is the Viking training camp. For the longest time, it's just been the area with rocks around it. But more recently, they've begun work on the rest of this fun play area. Concrete has been poured and footers have been placed on one side. On the other side, they are preparing this section for concrete. In the most recent photo, the concrete has been poured and the other side is being prepared for more concrete. This playground will have all types of dragons and interactive play areas. There will be towers to climb as well as Viking drums and chimes to play. Now let's go over to the Wizarding World. I wonder if this will be the next world to be revealed by Universal. If they plan on going counterclockwise around the park, then it will be. What world do you think will be next? Over here we can see some words in French. I looked up the translation and they say delicious, famous, and incredible. More words can be seen on this facade that reads Hotel 1879. In front of the theater attraction, they are placing the tent poles. This will be the entrance to the show. They have started some foundation work. This will be an extended queue area for the ride. More trees have been placed over here. This will be the exit to the world. Here, a worker is preparing mounts for chimney pots on the roof. Plus, down below, it looks like work is starting on creating sidewalks for the streets of Paris. With blue cylinders in the ground, most likely these are for street lamps. On the other side of the street, prep for sidewalks is further along. Some concrete has already been poured in spots. Lexi FL on TikTok posted this. There was a huge container seen on I-4 with Universal Studios on the box. It's believed to be the ride vehicle to the Wizarding World attraction. Wallen Balin on X says he knows what the ride details are. According to him, the ride length is 4 minutes 15 seconds from load to unload, which is almost the same length as the ride portion of Rise of the Resistance. Although this one probably won't break down quite as much since it's not a trackless ride system. Supposedly, it'll be similar to the scoop vehicle used in the Amazing Spider-Man ride at Islands of Adventure, with a few extra things it can do. Over at Celestia Park, Scrim has come down around the Atlantic restaurant. We can now see the glass pane windows that have been installed, although we can't see inside the restaurant. Off to the side, they've been working on this small cascading water feature. The bottom of the basin has now been completely painted blue and some intricate patterns can be seen. The other restaurant in Celestia Park is the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant. Scaffolding surrounds the building as they work to finish the outside. There's a circular concrete out in front similar to what the worlds have in front of them. Off to the side of the restaurant we can see a worker on the roof of a gazebo. Several have been built around Celestial Park. Constellation Carousel has finally had the dome frame added to the top. More gold has been painted on the upper frames of the outside. If we look through the dome, we can spot a decorative disc. This will be placed on the ceiling of the dome. At the entrance to Epic Universe is the cascading water feature, which I believe is called the Luna Overlook. Bridge frames have been added to the cascading water feature. Here's how the entrance plaza is looking so far. This is where admission and security will be. Outside of the admissions are some circular forms they are working on. The Kronos entrance doesn't look like there's been much change since our last look at it. Foundation work has recently started for this brand new project. Here's another view of it where we can see it near the Spitfire Grill restaurant in the How to Train Your Dragon land. This building is in the Celestial Park side. It's believed to be the location for two restaurants, a Mexican and Italian restaurant. Some old concept art has been found. Although I don't believe this is what the building will look like, I think this concept has changed. This is what it looks like in the flyover. Over at the show fountain, they've been working on the cascading water feature. A metal frame for a bridge has been placed over the stream. Next to that is more work being done on the cascading water feature. Frames have been built to pour more concrete. At the perimeter of the show fountain, 2 structures have been built and they now have a roof on top. Could this be for kiosks for selling goods, or could they just be for viewing the show? Over at Starfall Racers, work has been done to create an extended queue for the ride. Here's the load station for the ride and the pathways that have been created so far. Here's how the theming in front of the ride is coming along. The Comet still hasn't been finished. The rock work in front has been painted. The in-park hotel called Helios Grand Hotel has had steel sheets placed on the dome. This is the most recent progress so far. On the pool side, they have poured some of the concrete for the pool floor. It's still curing. The walls still need to be done. The other 2 hotels are the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna resorts. Here's how the Stella Nova looks on the Port Cochet side, and here is the Stella Nova on the pool side. No landscaping has been started yet. The reflective tiles have been finished on this resort. The Stella Nova resort will open January 21st, 2025. Here they have painted the bottom portion of the hotel with a grayish color. The Terra Luna is making great progress. On the pool side, almost all the reflective tiles have been installed. They already have the poolside bar built. In the most recent picture, there's just a small area that still needs the reflective tiles. Terra Luna will open on February 25th, 2025. The room rates start at $134, not a bad price. I can help you book your room here as well as park tickets. I am a travel planner with Gold Gal Getaways. If you want a free quote, click the link down below. It doesn't cost you anything extra to have me book your stay. Well, that's it for our latest update of Universal Epic Universe. Thanks to BioReconstruct for all the wonderful pictures. Make sure to follow him on X. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like to see more, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell to be notified of new videos. And I can't wait to see you in the next one.